Oh god, I shouldn't have eaten pizza before this. So there's been a lot of news and like myths and just a lot of confusion just around ASA, ARK Survival Ascended, the remaster of ARK Survival Evolved. So I went over all the roadmaps, community crunches, every little bit of info that Wildcard has given us about ASA to kind of clear up everything and show you like what's fact, what's fiction, kind of clear up all the myths. Let's start at the beginning. What is ASA? ASA is ARK Survival Ascended, a full remaster of ARK Survival Evolved. But Wildcard said this was so that they would be able to make a new game for those who weren't exactly thrilled with the announcement of ARK 2. Because ARK 2 being a story-driven Souls-like game, many people don't exactly want that kind of gaming experience when it comes to ARK. So Wildcard still wanted them to have a new game that they could play. That's what they claim. So ARK Survival Ascended is going to be rebuilt from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5. This means we'll have all the UE5 tech, like nanite lighting and lumen and all that good stuff, along with the dynamic water, the interactive foliage, and a performance boost, because, well, Unreal Engine 5 is just so much better running and at rendering things than Unreal Engine 4 is. Along with the engine upgrade, ASA is also bringing cross-platform multiplayer and cross-platform modding. This is a huge plus for any of those console players who have suffered through ARK Survival Evolved over the years. I can't imagine playing this game 100% vanilla. I need at least a couple quality of life mods to play. This also means that you can host servers that any platform can connect to. Doesn't matter if you're playing Steam, Epic, Switch players, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. Everyone will be able to connect to the same sorts of servers. Okay, all of that seems pretty cool, but what else is the game adding? One of the biggest things that I think a lot of people are kind of just glossing over and looking past is a new canonical story map. This is an entirely new Canon Map, new dinos, new environment, new everything. It's going to fit into the story somewhere between the island and Gen 2. Each original map is also going to get a new creature added. You've probably seen the community votes for all the new creatures, but you haven't seen any of those new creatures that were voted added to the game. Why? Because they're going to ASA, not ARK Survival Evolved. So far, and this is September 9th I'm recording this, Basilisuchus is being added to Scorched Earth. Imagine a giant crocodile that swims through sand like water. Yiling, hopefully I said that right, is being added to Aberration. It's pretty much a raptor, but with rock drake climbing and gliding abilities, and depending what you eat, or what you feed it, it will get different buffs. Ragnarok's getting the Gigantoraptor. It's pretty much a big nanny that will take care of any baby dino you have, but to be able to tame one, you'll either have to steal eggs or a baby, because ASA is going to have wild babies. And the center is getting Shastasaurus. That was the most recent vote. And that's pretty much a giant whale-like creature, but it appears to have the saddle of a submarine. So you'll be able to breathe and live underwater on the back of one. And the next vote determines what's going to be added to Extinction. So make sure you go vote if you haven't already. Wildcard also listed a bunch of quality of life upgrades and changes that we've been promised. The list is a little extensive, but there's still a lot they claim they haven't told us. I'm just going to read down the list and put it on the screen. An updated mini-map, so maybe instead of the map you have in your hand, that poorly drawn, pathetic one that's very inaccurate as to where you are, along with like panning, zooming, pings, kind of similar to the Survival of the Fittest map. New structures, display cases, smaller tech teleporters, and just building quality of life fixes. A new third-person camera with the option to opt out of it. Probably going to be the one they use in ARK 2. Directional sprinting and walking. A gamepad cursor, nice for anybody playing on console or controller. A chibi slot and skins tab. And then a bunch of balance passes, so they're refixing cave entrances, mechs, aberration creatures, whatever's wrong with them. They're adding more breedable creatures, and then etc., whatever that means with balance passes. Dynamic navigation mess and creature pathfinding overall. That's pretty exciting. The creatures not being stupid and sprinting into rocks is going to be a huge plus. Photo mode, pretty much something for everybody who doesn't use NVIDIA, so they can still have a nice, fancy picture mode. Dino/baby management quality of life upgrades. Wild babies, like I mentioned before. Snap point improvements, new snaps and just logic improvements, character creation and customization improvements, quote, and more. Seriously, a lot more. The list isn't exhaustive, but it'll get super long if we list everything, and there's more we'll decide to do between now and launch too. And then they said the remaster will come with regular updates to resolve bugs, introduce new content, balance changes, and quality of life improvements for years to come. That is a lot of things, and we haven't even touched Survival of the Fittest yet. Yeah, they were talking about that. You know that dead game mode? The one with the really bad queue system, and you have to manually go join servers, you can't party up with friends or anything like that, and it's kind of just dead because it's such a nightmare. Survival of the Fittest is going to be integrated into the main product as a fully supported game mode. It'll have a dedicated team that will continue to work on more gameplay changes, mechanical improvements, quality of life stuff, maps, and balance adjustments. The initial mode will be revamped with an exclusive ARK Survival Ascended update, including an upgrade to Unreal Engine 5 with complete cross-platform and cross-modding support, a Scorched Earth Survival of the Fittest map, probably not dropping with release, a matchmaking queue, that's huge, character and creature customization with cosmetics, again, that's pretty cool for a Battle Royale game, a local lobby where you can group up with friends, configure the look of your survivor and dinos, and queue up for lobbies together. That was desperately needed with Survival of the Fittest. Imagine like an Apex queue, or a Fortnite queue, or PUBG, or any sort of Battle Royale game like that. You can like party up with friends, and then you can queue for a match together. That's kind of what they're going for here. And then lots of bug fixes and balance and functionality improvements. So maybe this will bring life back to the Battle Royale game that ARK's created, because honestly, it's a really good concept for a game, it's just very poorly executed. So all that sounds pretty great, but there's a couple negatives coming with ASA as well. The big one first. Quote, with the launch of ASA at the end of October, we will be taking down all official servers on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC for ARK Survival Evolved. At that time, the final save datas for the ARK Survival Evolved official servers will be uploaded for players to rehost on their own servers or play in single-player / non-dedicated worlds, as well as slightly earlier snapshots. You will still be able to play single-player, non-dedicated, player-dedicated, and unofficial servers. So all the official servers for ARK Survival Evolved will be shutting down. And while most ARK players are unaffected by this, because most players don't play official, that does still suck for anybody who does. People could be potentially losing years of gameplay that they put into this game. They've made friends on these official servers, they've met cool new people, and all of it is just kind of being pushed to the side. Sure, they're not losing it, but in a sense they are. And speaking of servers, we need to talk about Snail Games and Nitrado. So what happened and why? An SEC filing from July shows how the agreement between ARK publisher Snail Games and Nitrado owner Marbus came to be, confirming that Marbus would effectively provide a loan of $4,046,932 to Snail as part of the company's partnership, which includes a deduction of over $1 million in outstanding debt accrued and yet unsettled by Snail between March and June of this year. A few days later, the terms of the agreement were inked and confirmed. These agreement terms caused for forum people to allege that this is a server hosting monopoly, and they added a bunch of complaints from other players with the initial announcement. So these forum goers use the term monopoly for Nitrado with ASA. A monopoly is when one company holds the entirety of a supply or a trade. In this case, the ability to host ARK servers. Where did this come from? Well, there's a whole legal document from the SEC that I had the pleasure of reading, because I wanted to find out exactly what's happening between, Snail Games and Nitrado. And I really did not want to listen to the geniuses of Reddit. I'll link that SEC document below if any of you are interested to have a look for yourself. But to dumb it all down so that us morons can understand. Yes, game server hosting services like Nitrado, G-Portal, survival servers, all that stuff, the ones you're familiar with, only Nitrado will be able to host ASA servers that way for the first 3 years after ASA is released. Players, you'll still be able to host your own servers, especially if you have a PC at home, you can just host a server on that. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. But if you want to find a service online to be able to host an ASA server for you, Nitrado is going to be your only option for the first 3 years. And if Snail Games fails to launch ASA by October 31st of 2023, Nitrado will gain exclusive access to all ARK Survival Evolved servers. This means if you're hosting a server through G-Portal, survival servers, Host Havoc, any other server hosting site, after the 31st, if ASA has not been released, you'll have to shut that down. But that's only if ASA doesn't release by the 31st, so there's still hope, and that's a problem we'll deal with if we have to deal with it. There's also a couple other things they said. With the launch of ASA, we will be ending official support for Primitive Plus, split screen, and procedurally generated maps. These aspects of the game will not be ported to the new Unreal Engine 5 version, and we will look into releasing the source files for Primitive Plus for those that wish to repurpose aspects of it for mods. So no more procedurally generated maps, which I never personally used because honestly it's ARK, I didn't expect it to work. But it was a cool concept, and I kind of wish it was ported over. In terms of losing Primitive Plus, that never worked for me anyways, so I'm not really at a loss for that, but Primitive Plus was a really cool concept, and I did try to play it a couple times. So with the release of the files, the source files for it, maybe somebody will be super cool in ASA and create a whole Primitive Plus mod, like a full overhaul mod. That'll probably be really popular for roleplay servers or something like that. And then split screen. That's similar to the official servers in that the majority of ARK players are unaffected by losing split screen, but again, for those who did utilize this feature, that's unfortunate. It sucks. So that's everything we need to cover for ASA besides price. ASA is set to release in early access with a price of $44.99 and a launch discount bringing it to $39.99 at release. What's included in this $45 purchase? The package will include the following pieces of content built in, not sold separately, with each remastered and altered for the next generation. The Island, released at launch. Scorched Earth, released in December 2023. Aberration, released by Q1 2024. Ragnarok, also released Q1 2024. Extinction, released after Ragnarok and Aberration. Genesis 1, released after Extinction. Genesis 2, released after Genesis Part 1. And then all other community-created maps are also to be released over time in 2024. Fjordur, The Center, Lost Island, Valguero, Crystal Isles, all those. And that's actually not that bad of a price. Currently, so for any of you who don't own ARK already, currently, if you're looking to buy ARK Survival Evolved on Steam, to get all that content I just listed with ASA's deal, you would have to pay $45, assuming it's not on sale. So if you're looking to pick up ARK, just wait. Just wait till ASA comes out, pay the same price for a remastered version of the game. There's no way it'll be worse, right? So yeah, that's kind of all the stuff we need to go over in terms of like roadmaps, community crunches, all the info they've given us. I haven't really put out my own opinions about any of this. Personally, I'm excited for ASA. Even if it's literally the exact same game, but slightly less bugs and in the new engine, that would be worth it to me. I mean, this is a game I've pumped thousands and thousands of hours into, and I've just had a blast playing. So, as much as Wildcard has slapped us around and smacked their dicks on our foreheads, I'm gonna grab ASA on day one. Sorry, it's just how it is. There's a lot more drama we could get into regarding the deal with Snail Games USA and Nitrado, but I think we're gonna go ahead and leave that out of this video. This video is mostly about ASA and what it's going to be and what they've promised us, and less about, you know, drama between companies and lawsuits and all that annoying legal shit. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna grab ASA? Are you excited? Are you skeptical? Are you nervous? Are you zero interest? Do you just not care? I mean, obviously you care a little bit if you're watching this video, especially to the end. So go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are, because I feel like I'm probably I'm definitely in the minority for being excited about this game. I don't understand the backlash. I'm hyped about ASA. I'm ready for it. Give it to me. Give it to me, Daddy Snail Games, please. Also, if you're interested in ARK stuff, we have a cool community server we run over on Twitch. We currently just are doing Extinction stuff. We're taking on actually the Alpha King Titan today when this video goes live. So that'll be fun. A bunch of us on the server. And yeah, so go ahead and subscribe here. Go follow over there. Whatever you want to do. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Smooches. It's not gay, I swear.